9 a.m. The date is March the 5th, 2024. We are called to order the meeting for mayor and council for the city of Statesboro. We'll have our invocation and pledge of allegiance by Councilmember Paulette Chambers.
Let's pray. Lord God, bless us on this day in our decision making. Let us make wise decisions for the city of Statesboro. And Lord, be with us as we travel and we maneuver through the rest of our day. Protect the people of Statesboro in their going and in their coming. In your name, Jesus, I pray and thank you. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we'll move down to agenda item 3, which is recognition and public presentations. We have a presentation of a life-saving award to Statesboro Police Officer Levi Teal for his life-saving actions on February 3rd, 2024. Chief, if you will.
Morning, Mayor and Council. I'm really proud to have Officer Levi Teal here tonight with us, or this morning with us. And I'll just read the proclamation with the citation. How's that work? On February 3rd, 2024, at approximately 19:20 hours, Officer Teal responded to a residence referencing an emergency medical situation. Upon arrival, he discovered a female with an arterial cut to her upper arm caused by putting her arm through a sheet of glass. Officer Teal immediately recognized the extent of the injury and the need to act quickly. He began applying first aid and administered a tourniquet to the affected arm. The scene was hectic, the victim combative, and there was a considerable amount of blood. Throughout the incident, Officer Teal managed to calm the victim and keep her stable until the arrival of EMS. Once at the emergency room, the doctor evaluated the injury and left Officer Teal's tourniquet in place as they shipped her by air ambulance to Savannah. The female victim underwent at least 2 surgeries to repair the damage to her arm. Emergency room staff confirmed that the lady's life was in danger and that Officer Teal's efforts saved her life. Officer Teal is to be commended for his professionalism and first aid skills, which saved a life. You want to leave my family?
Officer Teal, this is family? Our family?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
This is my
You
family.
want your family?
Dad, not just across the line. Really good.
That's okay.
Work is easy.
We had a problem.
Hey, buddy.
Stay there, don't move. That's the start of the child. Yeah. Let's get y'all with Mayor and Council.
Check up on you.
You in the center. Yes, sir. Sorry. Feels the crooked hands.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, I'm sorry to tell you.
I know.
We can't count on that.
I don't- yeah,
We're in the right order.
You can't see the camera, the camera can't see you.
Why is Polish squirting?
I don't want to cheat. I don't want
Get out of front
No,
of
you're
me.
good.
Well, let me get one more card. You got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, let me see your outfit. Like she's like 7 feet tall.
Right here. We got a tourniquet here, we got Narcan in here, got back here, trumpet, and since
Okay.
Hey, I can't do that. That's why you keep me around.
right, we'll move down to agenda item 4, which are public comments. Any public comments?
No, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, we'll move down to agenda item 5, which is consideration of a motion to approve the consent agenda, which is the approval of our minutes for our work session on February the 20th, council minutes on February the 20th, and executive session minutes on February the 20th. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we'll move on to agenda item 6, which is the public hearing and first reading of ordinance 2024-01, or ordinance amending chapter 6, section 6-7F of the City of Statesboro Code of Ordinances, removing proximity requirements on premises consumption, alcohol license in a delineated section of downtown. Is there a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? All right, Kane, if you would give us an overview.
Mayor and Council, this is a revision to 6.7E, that's under general regulations for all alcohol licensees. And 6.7E sets out the proximity requirements for pour licenses, for on-premises consumption. As it stands now, bars and bars with kitchens can't be within 100 yards of churches, school grounds, educational buildings, which, as we've discussed in the work session, takes out some areas, especially with the possibility of a storefront church coming into a downtown location. That'll put a 100-yard halo that won't allow those sorts of establishments there. So as we discussed in the work session, we set out a delineated area, and so the revision to 6.7E is in subsection 4. And that is that the proximity requirements for on-premises licenses shall not be in effect for that portion of downtown bound by Cherry Street on the south, Hill and Elm Streets to the north, College Avenue to the west, and Mulberry Street to the east. And that map is set out in the agenda packet. And so that's going to cover basically all of downtown, is that those proximity requirements would not be in effect. But that does not create a right for these bars and bars with kitchens to be there. If they are in areas that are not appropriate, then of course council can deny the issuance of that license. But so what we've got is, to the north, like I said, is Elm and Hill Streets. To the south is Cherry Street, so it's going to go just to the north of the First Methodist Church. And then it's bound by College Street on the west and Mulberry on the east. And in those areas, there wouldn't be a need to get proximity waivers for restaurants, pubs, etc., and bars and bars with kitchens would be allowed.
Even if the church came to the storefront.
Right, that's right. Even if the church came in, there would not be a halo created around it in that small part of the central business district.
Churches can still come into those places?
Of course.
Oh, okay.
Of course. No, we certainly would have no prohibit. We would not be able to prohibit that, nor
Okay.
would we wish to.
Okay.
Yeah, but if they come in
Okay.
recognizing that it is a business
Right.
district. And so you may be next to a place that sells alcohol
Right.
as well. They do that by choice.
Mr. Mayor, I have one question.
Go
So I just realized with that being right there at the corner of First Methodist with protect residents, if somebody don't know what that is that the old post office building right there? So if somebody wanted to come in and put something there within 100 yards of First Methodist,
Y'all could deny it if you wanted to.
so it would still be allowed because it's within this area.
That's
even though
right.
The church outside the area.
That's right. There's no proximity requirements in that delineated area. So if something's next to it, so that First Baptist Church to the northeast and that First Methodist Church to the southwest would not create halos. Along with it, would any of the storefront or big would not affect
So
it.
this protects from things outside it too, if it's.
Right, absolutely. But of course, if it's someone, if they're trying to put a bar right next to First Methodist and the whole church says, we don't want this, to deny it.
You do not have a license.
Right. I mean, y'all always have that right. If it doesn't make sense, say no.
Thank you.
Any further discussion with council?
Yes, just to make sure, First Baptist up at the top, that's only 100 feet from the corner of Elm and Main. So that's not if somebody wanted to put a restaurant in Corporate,
Think y'all would, that application would come before council for approval or denial. But the point is, this allows these to come forward to y'all, as opposed to just a blanket prohibition made by a previous council in a different age in a different atmosphere.
Mhm.
So that's the whole thing. I think it's inappropriate to be bound by decisions from prior councils that were right after the Gatto case when it was hot. Of course, it's just a different atmosphere at this point. At this point, we know we're not liable for those sorts of, it's that what happens in these establishments based on the Georgia Supreme Court decision in Gatto.
Mhm.
So it's just a different atmosphere.
Got you. Make sure we got the question that you're asking in reference to.
Yes, my question is answered.
Yes, that application would be allowed to come before y'all for approval or denial, yes.
So right now it can't come before us. This would make it where it can come before us, and then we can decide if we
Well,
want
a restaurant could go there as of now. A pub could go there as of now. If y'all approve this proximity waiver under 650,
Mhm.
then that license could be approved. But as it stands now, we can't even bring these up to y'all.
Right.
It's with the bars or bars with kitchens if they're within that prohibited halo.
We want to hear about it when we decide.
Exactly. So it should be council discretion to decide should it be approved or not. It shouldn't be the ordinance making that rule.
All right, is there anyone here to speak for this ordinance? Anyone here to speak against? All right, seeing that there's no other motion to close the hearing,
So moved.
is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, it seems like we did have council discussion already. Is there any further, council discussion before we ask for a motion for a vote to move it forward?
I'll just make a statement. This is first of the second reading, so this next reading is in
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
I have heard nothing from the, who runs the First Baptist Church, your daddy's on. Deacon. I haven't heard from any deacons yet,
I haven't
so
heard from
I'm gonna
anybody.
vote for it today.
Yeah.
Until I've heard from people from the church.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'll vote next week. Anyway.
Any further discussion?
Well, the only thing I can say is, look at the major churches downtown Savannah, they operate just fine.
Yeah.
Right off of Liberty Street, right off of
Mhm.
Bay Street, so.
I would like to say that, like stated before, it gives us an option whether or not we approve it or deny it. If we go against it, we don't even have that option.
Yeah.
It takes that right away, like it takes that out.
Just say one more thing, and I just said this to John, and I think it's important for all of you here. If something was giving you heartburn, you can always tighten the map.
Mhm.
This map we looked at and we thought it was a reasonable map, but if there was a concern, you could always shrink the map as well.
Yeah, and would shrinking the map came with that, constitute a substantial change?
It would.
Yeah, if you don't do it today.
Okay. All right. Well, it's not necessarily like we're in a rush, but, we can take our time. With that being said, is there a motion to, for the approval for it to move forward?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. All right, let us move over to agenda item 7, which is a public hearing and consideration of a motion to approve application for alcohol license in accordance with the City of Statesboro Alcohol Ordinance 6-13A. This is Pizza LLC doing business as Holiday Pizza, as well as Sully's Steamers. Is there a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Is there anyone here that wants to speak for this request? Anyone here to speak against? Okay. All right. Where's Kathy? Kathy, any issues in regards to this?
No issues, Mayor.
All right. Kane?
No issues, Mayor.
Chief?
No issue.
Chief?
No issues.
Okay. All right. Is there a motion to close the hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? All right. Any council discussion in regards to items 7A and 7B?
What is Sully Steamers?
That's delicious.
It's sweet mellow mushroom and McAllister.
Yeah.
Steaming, like a
Yeah.
vacuum cleaner.
Yeah.
They
say it's good
Sandwiches.
food.
Sandwiches.
Yeah, so Sully might see me today.
Yeah.
What's the thing they're gonna be, drunk and,
That's what is going on.
drunk, clean, and have a shot like
So, yeah.
Wait a minute, y'all.
Yeah, well, Sully about to have me today.
that. different business terms.
With that being said, is there any further discussion by council? Right, is there a motion to approve?
So,
Is there a second?
We put the vote,
Huh?
Both A and B?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. We're moving on to agenda item 8, which is consideration of a motion to approve resolution 2024-05, a resolution requesting approval to apply for the assistance to firefighters grant for the city of Statesboro, Georgia. Mr. Penny.
Mayor, members of the council, this is an annual grant that we apply for. Part of the funding will continue, allow us to continue to have our association with a physician. Dr. Gervis is our physician based on this grant. And so we're asking for $35,000 for that grant to continue that program. And then we're requesting some additional funds to assist with the additional firefighters that we've added over the past 2 years. We do recommend your approval to allow us to apply for the grant.
Thank you. Any discussion by council? All right, seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, let's move on to agenda item 9, which is consideration of a motion to approve an intergovernmental agreement with Bullock County Board of Commissioners and the Bullock County Board of Elections and Registration to allow the county to use the Jones Love Building at Blue Animal Park to train poll workers and conduct elections. Mr. Penny.
Mayor and council, this is just an intergovernmental agreement. I think the last election, I think we used the Carol Love Jones building as a polling site. So this is just extending that term and we do recommend approval.
All right, any discussion by council? Seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve?
so moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, and be sure to put in the newspaper that the county and the city are getting along. And we're working towards, we're being collaborative. We'll move down to agenda item 11. Agenda item 10, consideration of a motion to approve an intergovernmental agreement with Bullock County Board of Commissioners to allow magistrate court of Bullock County to provide municipal court services for animal control violations within the city limit. Kane, if you will.
Mayor, this is more collaboration between the county and the city to further that. This is an IGA. We had recently revised our animal control ordinance in order to match the counties, and that was a prerequisite for this SDS agreement. This is based on the SDS agreement that the Bullock County provides animal control services throughout Bullock County. This just allows violations that occur within the city to be heard in magistrate court under the same sort of ordinances that the county already has, just in order to make it easier for animal control officers to make it to their court dates and to just, in case there are habitual violators, will know about it. The judge and magistrate court will know about it. So yes, this IGA would just allow the municipal court to provide those. The magistrate court to provide municipal court services so as matters can be brought in that court.
All right, thank you. All right, any discussion by council? Seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we're moving on to agenda item 11, which is consideration of a motion to authorize the mayor to execute a 3-year contract with Fuchsia's locking in pricing for a 3-year period. Mr. Penny, you want to give us a little insight on that?
Mayor, members of the council, we've been working, you've heard about Fuchsia's quite a bit. And so Fuchsia's has been purchased by, I don't know whether it's by Motorola or someone. Exxon. Okay. Thank you. And so it's been purchased. And so currently we're paying $80,000 a year. So we expect that cost is going to go up. But our current provider has come to us and said, you can lock in these prices. And so because it's a 3-year term, we're bringing it to you and recommending that you approve us to sign this 3-year agreement so that we know what those costs will be for budgetary purposes. It's $80,000, then it goes to $90,000, could go to $99,000. But beyond that, it could be a lot more. And so we do recommend it to you. Fusus has been of great help to us in solving crimes and getting people on that system. So we recommend you authorize the mayor to be able to sign this one. A little bit 3-year agreement.
Any discussion by council?
I have a question for the
Good.
chief.
Good.
Who are we, Axon, that's who makes our body cameras, right?
So we're using a WatchGuard. So Axon bought Taser, so we are using some Axon products. We looked at their body camera system, it's just way too expensive for us right
But
now.
the Axon bought Fusus, right?
Correct.
Okay. Our body cam, footage, where's that being stored right now?
It goes to the cloud, we pay for that storage.
For Fusus?
So Fusus video feed all belongs to the individual companies. So like if a private business has a video feed, they store all their own video. We just have a processor through Fusus that allows us to access their system, and then if we clip it out as evidence, we keep it basically forever, but the rest of that video is stored by somebody else.
But our body cam video, which I know takes up an enormous amount
Right.
of digital space, so what cloud is that in? Is it the Fusus cloud, or we have our own cloud?
No, WatchGuard has their own cloud.
WatchGuard.
Yeah, so that's the provider of the system. And we were for a while trying to store it in-house, and we had like 3 terabyte servers, which were crazy expensive. And then when they offered that service, then we migrated our video to the cloud.
Thank you.
Thanks. I would like to say, if I have 10 seconds up here, I really appreciate the work you guys are doing to help us with these enhancements. I know stuff's really expensive, but it really keeps us trying to be on the front foot with fighting crime, and I really appreciate the financial buy-in that you guys have made, so thank you.
Absolutely. All right, any further discussion by council? All right, seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. All right, we move on to agenda item 12, which is consideration of a motion to authorize the mayor to execute a request for traffic signal agreement with the Georgia Department of Transportation for installation of rectangular rapid flashing beacons at pedestrian crosswalks on State Route 73 North Main Street, at Courtney Street and South Main Street, East and West Vine Street. Mr. Finney.
Mayor, member of the council, the crosswalks are already there. However, what we're asking for is to be able to put the signal there to call more attention to them. Recognizing North and South Main Street is also part of 301, and so it can be really busy. And so we recommend that you approve this agreement with GDOT, so we can, if they, to be able to install these flashers to help with pedestrians crossing.
Thank you, Mr. Finney. Any discussion by council?
Mr. Mayor, I'm just curious, when I was looking at the map, it looks like that the beacons we're asking for are actually further back from the main intersection, back at Cortland, up at Cortland and then back down, kind of staggered. Am I understanding that right, John? Good job, please.
I can answer that for you.
Okay, I just thought John was here too.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. So these will be similar to what you see on Lanier Drive, essentially, where we have these mid-block crosswalks
Okay.
and have an amber-colored flashing beacon. You see this in a lot of downtown areas. Athens has some in the downtown area near the Classic Center, where you have a crosswalk across the road, but you have a sign with a flashing amber light on there to draw your attention to that. What this will do for us will be able to allow us to install those just to create some additional warning, some additional notice for pedestrians crossing, and also to upgrade them, because GDOT typically will install just your basic stainless steel type aluminum type look, but we do more decorative items in the downtown area for improved aesthetics like you've seen on East Main Street. So we'll step that up a little bit, if you will, with some more decorative
You can match what we want.
right, some more decorative posts in that regard. And also we'll have to, as is typical with GDOT, we'll have to carry the long-term maintenance, pay the electric bill that goes with that.
Thank you. That was kind of my understanding. I was just wanting to confirm that it's not where we already have it. It's further back.
Right, so this one is at the crosswalk at East-West Vine, near Cool Beans.
It's staggered. It's not a direct
That's
across.
correct, yes,
so it's
ma'am. And also at,
That's
yes, ma'am, also at Cortland, near the courthouse. There's a lot of foot traffic that crosses those two locations,
Right.
and so this will improve pedestrian safety.
Sounds like a good idea. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any further discussion by council? Seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. All right, let's move down to agenda item 13. Consideration of a motion authorizing the mayor to execute purchase agreements for right-of-way acquisition on Gentilly Road for the sidewalk project. Funding is provided from 2018 T-Splosh. Mr. King.
I really can't add a lot to it. We do recommend approval.
All right, any discussion by council?
We're on Gentilly Road.
It's Gentilly at East Grady Street on the northwest corner.
All right, any further discussion by council? All right, seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we'll move down to agenda item 14, other business from city council.
I'd just like to take a minute to give a shout out to a friend of mine who was recently recognized. Many of you may know Miss Lily Bell Lundy. She was honored at a reception at East Georgia Regional yesterday. Upon her retirement, she has worked, of course, before it was East Georgia Regional, it was Bullock Memorial Hospital. But her combined career there was 52 years. So just celebrate Miss Lily. I'm so glad they gave her a nice party.
Yeah, 52 years. Good. She was there when I came. Yeah, I came through there. She was in the. Okay, good. We want to congratulate her on that. Is there any other business from city council? Okay. All right, seeing that there's none, we'll go down to city manager comments. Mr. King?
Mayor, members of the council, a couple of things I just wanted to call to your attention. Just remind you, our retreat, your retreat is next week, the 15th and the 16th in Augusta. And we look forward to meeting with you. We have a number of staff folks there. The focus on at this retreat is going to talk about economic development. We've got a lot going on. And so that will be the major emphasis that we will bring before you for your discussion. The other thing I want to mention to you is that on the 19th, after the retreat, we won't do a work session, but I did put a memo in your FYI to save the date. We're going to have a tour over at the city campus of the project. And so we're going to get a special preview on that. And we'll go over there at like 3:45. And then after we finish that visit, we're going to get on some transportation and go out to the new food bank location and walk through that as well. And so just want to get your attention on that matter. And then I just want to call one other thing to your attention. In your FYI packet, and we don't do this very often, but in your FYI packet, Chief sent a memo to me that I wanted to share with you in reference to some video that was circulating on Instagram. And that video, I don't know if y'all have seen it, but I've seen it. That video was some police officers going to a house. And the caption on there was, it was sort of threatening, and it gave the appearance that the police officers just appeared randomly at a house. And this person was frightened because the police officers just appeared on their porch. But when we get things like that, there's always some more stuff to that story. And so as we investigated it, what we found is we had someone, I don't know whether it was in the house, but someone called 911 and called the police to that location. Because it said that I think it was a young lady may have been held in the house against her will. So the officers were responding to a call from 911, but the way the Instagram made it seem was if our officers just randomly appeared at that house. And when they first approached the house, the person at the door was sort of cooperative. And then when they wanted to check on the welfare of the individual, then they got combative. And so I just call that to your attention, and since we're here on Facebook, there are a lot of folks that have seen that Instagram post, but it just say you gotta always dig a little bit deeper. Things aren't always as they seem, and there are two sides to every story. We don't always get it right, and not just on behalf of police, but on behalf of our other city employees. We do make mistakes, but in this case, there was not a mistake being made by police officers, and it was just not a random house selection for them to do. Just want to share that.
Thank you, Mr. Bill. Anything else from council? Okay. All right, we'll move down to public comments. Any public comments? All right. Seeing that there is none, to my understanding, there is no need for executive session, or has something come up? That has come up. All right, we'll move down to agenda item 18, which is consideration of a motion to adjourn. So is there a motion? Okay, is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? All right, y'all have a good day, stay strong.